Welcome to our final video of Fur Trade Paddling School. Today, Jim and Doreen will provide you with information on how you can get started paddling a canoe yourself and exploring Canada's waterways. Take it away, Jim and Doreen.
Hello there! Sadly, this is the last video in this series about the fur trade and the role of the canoe in Canada's history. There's no better way to enjoy the marvels of our country and the pristine wonders of the Canadian waterways than in a canoe. As we've pointed out, there are many ways to enjoy canoeing, from a family paddle on a small lake or pond, to overnight camping, to whitewater canoe competitions, to paddling down a river from one point to the other, to wilderness canoe camping and paddling with a brigade in the big 26-foot Voyageur canoes that you see out there.
No matter what you choose to do, we recommend that you, number 1, take some lessons. Number 2, wear life jackets. Number 3, find out and know your limitations. And number 4, paddle safely. Each style of canoeing requires slightly different equipment, and you can find out what works best for you with the style of canoeing you plan to do. For instance, you probably wouldn't want to take a small 14-foot canoe on a wilderness canoe trip, and you probably wouldn't want to take an 18-foot canoe to play in a set of rapids. We mentioned that I have built all our own canoes, but if you are not a builder, there are many canoe companies that put out all kinds of different styles of canoes, and they're all paddling in the background. Some tips are:
buy a canoe that is suitable for the style of canoeing you plan on doing.
If you will be doing a lot of portaging or carrying your canoe, go for something light.
Use a 16-foot canoe for 2 people, or a larger canoe if you're going to have more than 2 people in the canoe, or if you're going on longer canoe trips.
If you plan to do a lot of canoeing by yourself, a smaller canoe is for you.
If you want to become a whitewater paddler and play in the whitewater and the rapids, you will want to look at boats especially designed for that purpose and get instruction.
Some canoes have keels. Be careful, they are not the best choice for river paddling.
Talked about that earlier. If you're doing wilderness canoeing, you'll want something you can repair easily in place or get a modern unbreakable one.
Talk to some experienced paddlers to see what they recommend for your style of canoeing. One of the canoes behind me has just been through a tornado and patched with Gorilla Tape.
You can probably see the black duct tape on its side. Okay, so Google your area for canoe groups.
Go to your local canoe club and try out different styles of canoes and find out what they recommend.
And watch a film called Path of the Paddle by Bill Mason. It's world famous, and his films on paddling are marvelous.
Building your own canoe is so satisfying. If interested, Google your local canoe builder or just Google building canoes. You've heard that expression, up the creek without a paddle. Well, you can't canoe without a paddle, and there are all kinds of paddles to choose from. Wooden, plastic, carbon fiber, bent shaft, straight shaft, and they come in many lengths. Get someone with experience to help you choose what you will need. Our favorites are our bent shaft paddles, wooden, and we find the wooden ones have the strength we need if we're going to be pushing off rocks. But for making a mile, the extremely light carbon fiber are the ones, because they are so light you feel you aren't doing any work.
Really, it makes it easy, even for an old lady like me. Life jackets are a must. Make sure you have one that is comfortable for you to paddle in and is a correct one for your weight. Remember, life jackets aren't meant to save boats. They're meant to save people. So don't leave yours in the bottom of the canoe. Wear it. I can't swim, so I'm very fussy about the style of life jacket I have and how comfortable it is. It's definitely a lifesaver for me.
Our favorite canoe for wilderness canoeing is our 18-foot Prospector Fiberglass Canoe with wood gunnels and thwarts. It has tons of room, is light to paddle, easy to repair, easy to carry, and comfortable to sit in for long days on the water. Our favorite canoe for competitions was our 16-foot canoes of the same style, which are easier to maneuver. For paddling around on a little pond by the house, we like a little 14-foot canoe.
Canoeing has enabled us to do some of the following: One, to float for miles down a river enjoying the changing scenery.
To sneak up on a moose, bear, otter, mink, pelican, caribou, eagle, other wily animal, or birds.
To take a picnic lunch, stay out all day exploring the shore of the lake, discovering birds' nests, plants and flowers and insects doing their work, and seeing animals along the shoreline.
To travel for many days and many miles, many weeks, paddling and portaging, tenting, and cooking by the fireside on the old fur trade routes.
To have special times with family and friends, away from cares of our daily lives.
To touch the earth and become one with nature. As I said, in a tent, cooking on a fire, and remembering that these vessels have been paddled on the same waters for about 5,000 years.
To challenge ourselves physically and mentally.
To camp on remote islands and the rocky points in remote parts of Canada.
And to fish and enjoy the taste of a freshly cooked fish just done right over the fire beside the river.
To paddle around a pond, watch blackbirds, water birds taking care of their young, and to get close to observe other water creatures.
And to learn new skills and help make us more self-sufficient.
To learn about Canada's history by stopping at historical points along the way.
And to carry all the supplies we need for food, shelter, and clothing on a long wilderness trip. It's pretty amazing to sit somewhere beside a fire and look around you, and everything you need to survive you have right there in your canoe. And all the trappings of our urban life at home is just gone away and we don't need it. It's great.
To carry on the Canadian tradition of canoeing our marvelous waterways, as I said, 5,000 years of Canadian waterways being paddled, birch bark, wooden canvas, fiberglass, composite, it's all beautiful.
But the most enjoyable thing for us has been that we've been able to paddle with our family. Our children were only 2 and 4 years old when we started paddling, and they're still paddling today, and it's just provided us with so many memories and so many great times together.
As you travel by canoe, you will gather memories that only a few can share. You'll also have some very special moments to tell stories about for years. Here are a few of ours.
And we just picked out just a little tiny bit of the experiences, but one funny time was we were paddling across the lake. It was time to stop for supper, so we got up to an island, got out my fishing rod, and there was only a small space between two batches of willows to fish from. So I cast my line out, reeled it in, and it seemed kind of snug. So I kept pulling, thinking I got a fish. I wondered what was going on, and I saw a movement to the left here. And I looked, and here's this fish going up the tree. Every time I reeled my line in, the line had gone over the tree, into the water, caught the fish, and it was going up in the air. That was pretty funny.
Or the time my friend and I were paddling down the North Saskatchewan on Canada Day here in Alberta. We were wearing goofy Canada Day hats and wigs and flying flags and having a good time. We had a boil in the river, a place where the water stacks up. It pushed us around and finally dunked us into the river. But I still came up wearing my Canada Day hat.
Or paddling across a small lake in the dark one night. And I broke the silence to tell Jim, I think I smell feathers. And as soon as I spoke, the world exploded around us. We had silently paddled into a flock of geese. They hadn't heard us, we hadn't heard them. And my speaking had startled them, so there was just feathers and wings all flying around us. Great experience.
Watching sunsets and northern lights from a remote island, staying up all night and watching the Perseid showers when the stars come down.
Seeing a family of loons paddle past you with their babies on the back.
Paddling through miles of winding wild rice fields and reed beds.
I remember one time we were doing that with our grandson along, and he had great fun standing up in the front of the canoe being a scout going through the reeds. It was fun. And watching a family of otters playing on the rocks and sliding down into the water as we were paddling by.
Spying on the eagle family as the fledglings are fed their supper.
And playing games with the canoe, such as gunnel bobbing, where you stand on the gunnels and jump up and down and make the canoe go across the water, or diving into the water from the deck of the canoe. Or one time we had a melon and we threw it ahead of the canoes, and everybody had to paddle fast and see who could get there first. We did this for a whole day, and the darn melon stayed together even though we were trying to get rid of it, and we had to eat it eventually.
Frying fish, finding out a bear is in the bush behind you, hoping you're making it for him. Paddling a 26-foot canoe in a marathon race.
Going down the Red Deer River was fun with our canoes and having all the grandchildren along. That's just an awesome thing to do.
Spending a day enjoying canoeing with friends such as we are today.
Right there. The point of this is that canoeing is fun. It opens up all kinds of possibilities for you and your family and friends. And it's something that we hope you'll want to try. Canoeing is a very special part of our lives, and we have so many wonderful memories because of it. Thanks for letting us share through this series of 6 videos some of the history of the fur trade, the role of the canoe in Canada's history, and some of our own experiences over 48 years of paddling.
Thanks for watching, folks, and we'll see you on the waterways, and we hope that this does you some good.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye. So this is an aluminum canoe. It's hard to destroy this canoe. Don't ignore it. It makes for a really solid, durable, long-lasting canoe. A fiberglass canoe, again a 16-foot canoe. This is easily repairable. It's inexpensive and very durable. This is a strange beast. It's a C1. It's a competition paddler, solo paddling canoe, Olympic mostly, and then strange people that like to jump waterfalls and bounce around in rapids and big water. So this is a C1. It's a single person strange hybrid that you paddle with a paddle. Sit in kind of like a canoe. It's not a kayak. You can roll it. And then there's a 16-foot going by with 2 paddlers, the all-time Canadian favorite. And we have a 26-foot and another 18-foot going by. The 26-foot is the family canoe, the long distance of choice. And that's the famous North Canoe of the Voyageurs. And another 26-foot canoe flying the Northwest Company Fur Brigade Fur Company flag. We have 2 kinds of paddles here. A wooden paddle, it's bent. It's the modern version of a paddle. This is my absolute favorite, super duper, first choice anytime, all the time. In my other hand is a composite aluminum and plastic, a straight shaft with a T-handle, and this is incredibly durable. You can drive over it to the truck and still use it. You can jam it in the bottom between rocks, it won't break or splinter. This is the paddle to have along for a spare paddle when you get down to breaking paddles and needing something that absolutely won't be destroyed.